channel. So today we are continuing on our lavender set and we're going to be making the booties for it. So my main color for the booty will be the white. So this is what I've got left from the dress and the beanie that we've made. So I've got, this is the same ball, and this is what I've got left from the lilac. So I'm going to be using this as a little bit of splash of color for the booties as well. You're also going to need a yarning needle, pair of scissors, some stitch markers and measuring tape as well. For my project, I'm going to be using 2.5mm hook. Okay, the reason being is because I'm making a booty for a child aged 3 to 6 months. These are the dimension of the booty, so that's the length and the width. These are all in centimeters. So I'm going to do 9.5 centimeter length, so something in between, and the width is going to be 5.5. If you're crocheting for an older child, you might want to use a bigger hook. So for example, for 6 months you can use 3mm hook. For 12 months I would go 3.5mm or even 4mm hook, depending on how tight you are crocheting. To start on our project, we're gonna do a starting chain like so, and then we're gonna chain 13. So go ahead and make 13 chains. So I've got 13 now, and we're going to start with row number 1. Row number 1 starts with a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In this stitch here, the 4th, you're going to yarn over, insert a hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Go ahead and place a stitch marker into that chain 3, because that chain 3 does count as a double crochet and it can be very easily missed. Into that same stitch we're going to make another double crochet like so. In the next 8 stitches we're going to make double crochet. So all in all you're going to have to make 8 double crochets in there and 8. This should take you to your last chain, so you should have 1 left. If you don't have 1 left, it means that you haven't done 8, or maybe something's gone wrong. Maybe you haven't chained 13. In that last stitch there, we're going to do 7 double crochets into that same stitch. So go ahead and place 7 double crochets into that same stitch. Don't worry if that stitch is starting to get bigger as you're crocheting. If you're not holding it tight, or depending how you crochet, sometimes this can happen, and I'm just going to show you really quickly. Okay, you can pull on the tail like so and it will close it down. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. So I've got 4 at the moment there, so I can just make 3 more. And 7. Okay, as I said to you guys before, if you've got that big gap there, just pull on your tail and it will close it like that. Now I'm gonna yarn over my tail on the back you don't have to. But next we're going to do 8 double crochets into the next 8 stitches. So this is very much a mirror on what we've done on the previous side. So I have done my 8 double crochet, and you should come to the end of that row, so you should have 1 stitch left. So this is the stitch where we did the 2 double crochets in the same stitch at the beginning, and in there you're going to do 3 double crochets into that same stitch. Okay, so that's 1, 2 and 3 into that same stitch, and we're going to slip stitch that to that chain 3 that we did at the beginning to finish this row. Just chain 3 and pop in your stitch marker back into that chain 3 that we've just done, because that will count as double crochet. So your work should look something like this. Let's start with row number 2. Row number 2 will have some increases. When we're talking about increases, we mean that it's going to have double crochets in the same stitch, like 2 double crochets. And this is how we're going to start. So in that chain there, where in that stitch where chain 3 is coming from, we're going to do a double crochet. Okay. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So that's going to be 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that in the following stitch. Okay, like so. In the next 8 stitches, we're going to do double crochets. So go ahead and make 8 double crochets. So I've done those 8 double crochets. So now we are coming towards the front of our booty. So in the next 7 stitches, we're going to do increases. So in the next 7 stitches, in each one, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So that's our first, like so. Okay, so then we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to do 2 double crochet in the next. So that's 2. So you need to do this for the next 5 stitches as well. Okay, and that's the 7th increase, like so. In the next 8 stitches, we're going to do a double crochet. So we are just mirroring what we've done from the other side again, and 8. Okay. You should have 3 stitches left, and in each one of those stitches we're going to do increases. So in each one of those 3 stitches we're going to do 2 double crochets, and last one, 3. So let's go ahead and slip stitch that last stitch to the chain 3, like so, and complete row 2. At the end of row 2 you should have 42 stitches. We are ready to start with row number 3. So go ahead and chain 1. So this chain 1 will not count as a stitch, and in that same stitch where the chain 1 is coming from, make a single crochet, and this is where you're going to place your stitch marker in. And again, this row will have some increases as well. The first increase we're going to do in the next stitch, so we're going to do 2 single crochets into that same stitch. So this is the next one. Then in the next stitch we're just going to do a single crochet. Okay, so we're going to need to make 2 more increases. So in the next stitch we're going to do an increase with single crochets. So that's going to be 2 single crochets into that stitch, then a single crochet, and our last increase in there with single crochets. So that's going to be 2 single crochets into that stitch, like so. Okay. In the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a single crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. In the next 2 stitches, we're going to do half double. To do a half double, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and you've made a half double. Let's do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. In the next 3 stitches, we're going to do double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, like so. So we've come to the front of our booty. So what we'll do is we'll do some increases in there, starting with the next stitch. So in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So that's 1 and 2. Okay. In the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Then in the next, we're going to do an increase. So put 2 double crochets into that same stitch. Then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, like so. Then an increase, so 2 double crochets in the next, like so. Then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. Oops. Oh, that's much better. Then in the next 2 stitches, we're going to do an increase. So that's going to be an increase in the next stitch. So 2 double crochets into that one. And an increase in the next stitch. So do 2 double crochets in the next one as well. Like so. Okay. Then we're going to do a double crochet in the next one, like so. We need 3 more increases, so in this next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2, then a double crochet in the next stitch, then an increase. The increase is 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Okay, like so. A double crochet and the last increase in the next stitch, like so. Ooh, the hard work is done, guys. Okay, next we're going to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, and 3. In the next 2 stitches we're going to do half double. Oops. And that's another one. Then in the next 3 stitches we're going to do single crochet, 2 and 3. Okay, we are coming towards the end of that row, And again, we're going to have to do some increases, but this time they're going to be done with a single crochet. So in that next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets. That's 1, 2. Then in the next one, we're going to do a single crochet. In the stitch after, you're going to do an increase, then a single crochet. In the next one, we're going to do an increase, which is 2 single crochets, and we're going to finish with a single crochet. And let's just slip stitch it to that first single crochet to close that row. At the end of row 3, you should have 56 stitches. So I just want to show you how big your work should be right now. So mine is just under 10 centimeters and is 5.5 centimeters wide. Please make sure that you measure yours to make sure that you've got the measurements required, because if your work is a little bit smaller, you might unfortunately have to chain with bigger hook. Okay, we are ready now to start with row number 4. To start on row 4, let's just do a single crochet into that first stitch like so, and pop in a stitch mark. Okay, go ahead and do single crochet all along that row. I'm going to meet you once you come towards the end, and please make sure that you have 2 stitches left, because those are the ones that we're going to do decrease in. At the end of row 4, we would have 55 stitches. So I've come towards the end of row 4. I've got 2 stitches left, and this is where I'm going to do my decrease. So to do the decrease, you start with a single crochet like that, don't finish it. You insert your hook into that next stitch, pull up a loop. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And let's slip stitch this to that first stitch there, like so. And we are ready for row 5. Please make sure that you just make your yarn go towards the wrong side. So this is my wrong side, so this is where it should start curving. If it's curving towards the other side like so, it's not a problem, just flip it on the other side like this. Okay, to start with row number 5, let's just chain 1, and we're going to start this with a decrease. So start the decrease in that first stitch where the chain 1 is coming from, and insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3 like so, and you've made a decrease. For row 5, we're going to do total of 5 decreases. So at the end of row 5, you should have 50 stitches. Next, we're going to do 18 single crochets. So go ahead and do 18 single crochets. I'm going to meet you once you've got 18, and we're going to do the next decrease together. I've done 18 single crochets. Next, we're going to do another decrease. So go ahead and insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Don't finish this single crochet. Insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Next, do 5 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. That's 2, 3, 4 and 5. And we are ready for another decrease. So again, start that in the next stitch, don't finish it, insert your hook into that next one, pull up a loop and yarn over, pull through all 3. Do another 5 single crochets in the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4 and 5. And we're going to do another decrease. Go, don't finish it. Okay, like so. Next you're going to do 18 single crochets, which will take you towards the end of that row. I'm going to meet you once we've come towards the end. We're going to finish this row together and we're going to start on the next one. I'm coming towards the end of row 5. All I'm left to do is just to do my last single crochets like so, and then slip stitch it to that first stitch there. Okay, and let me just chain 1 so we can see our work. Your work should start curving like this now, and it's starting to take shape. For row number 6, we're gonna do further increases, but we're gonna start it with a single crochet into that first stitch. So go ahead and place a stitch marker. Okay. We're gonna do 18 more single crochets. So go ahead and do 18 single crochets along this side. I'm gonna meet you once you have your 18 single crochets. So together you should have 19 because we're gonna count this as well. So keep crocheting and I'm gonna meet you sort of once you get towards here, and we're gonna do the first lot of decrease for this row. So I have done 19 single crochets from the beginning, counting the ones on the stitch marker as well. And now we can do the decrease. The decrease is exactly the same as the previous rows. So we're going to insert a hook into that next stitch, insert it into the next, yarn over and pull through. So we've done 2 single crochets together. Next we're going to do a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and we're going to do another decrease. So do single crochets 2 together like so. Okay, we're going to do 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches, 2 and 3. Okay, then we're going to do another decrease. Like so. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches like so, and we're going to do our last decrease right after, and we're going to finish that row with just single crochets all along. I'm going to meet you once we come towards the end of that row. We're going to finish it together and we're going to start with row number 7. I've come towards the end of row 6. From that last decrease that we did, you should have had 17 single crochets, and let's slip stitch it to that first stitch like so, and we are ready to start with row number 7. So let's just chain 1, have a look at our work so far. You can see that our booty is taking shape and is starting to curve even more. To start row number 7, what we'll do is we'll put a single crochet into that first stitch, and let's pop in our stitch marker. We need to do 16 more single crochets, so go ahead, do 16 more, and I'm gonna meet you once we've got our 16th, and we're gonna do our first lot of decreases. Okay, so altogether you should have 17 single crochets to begin with. Then we're going to do a decrease, so we're going to do single crochet 2 together in the next 2. So that's 1, don't finish it, insert your hook into that next one and do the decrease like so. In the next 2 stitches we're going to do single crochet, so that's 1 and that's 2. Then we're going to do another decrease like so. Then in the next 3 stitches we're going to do a single crochet, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to do another decrease like so. Okay, we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, and the last decrease for this row. That was our last decrease, and in each stitch all the way to the end we're just gonna do a single crochet. So complete this row. I'm gonna meet you towards the end, and we're gonna start with row number 8 together. So I'm coming towards the end of that row. All I'm left to do is just to slip stitch it now to that first stitch like so, and chain 1, and we are ready to start with the next row. To start with row number 8 we're going to do a single crochet into that first stitch like so, and go ahead and pop in your stitch marker like so, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the next 15 stitches. So go ahead and do single crochet in the next 15 stitches, and I'm going to meet you there to do the first lot of decreases for this row. Now we are ready to do some decreases. So in the next stitch just do 2 single crochets together to do your decrease like so. In the next 9 stitches we're going to do a single crochet. So we are not doing any decreases, we are just putting single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 8 and 9. Okay, then we're going to do a decrease like so, and we're going to finish this row with just single crochets all the way to the end. I'm going to meet you once we're all here. We're going to finish this row together and we're going to start on the next one. So I've come towards the end of that row, and let's just go ahead and slip stitch it to that first stitch like so, chain 1, and we are ready to start with the next row. Again, for the next row just go ahead and do single crochet into that first stitch like so, and what we'll do is we're going to do 15 single crochets. So go ahead and do 15 single crochets. Now we're ready to do the decrease, and we're going to do that in the next 2 stitches because we're going to crochet them together like so. Next we're going to do 9 single crochets in the next 9 stitches. So go ahead and do 9 single crochets. That's my third, and that's my 9th, after which we're going to do a decrease in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to do single crochet 2 together, and then you're going to finish this row with single crochets all across that row, and I'm going to meet you once you come towards the end of that row. So I've come to the end of that row. All I'm left to do is to slip stitch it, but we're going to introduce the lilac yarn next. So if you want, you can just continue doing with the same color. This is totally up to you, but I'm making this booty as part of a set, and that's why I've got the lilac yarn. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch it with that lilac there, like so, and I'm just going to tie them in the end so they don't run off, like so. I'm actually going to cut the white yarn because we are finished with that now. Okay, and just going to do double knot on it. Next we are going to do the edging. To start on the edging on our booty, what we'll do is we're going to start with a single crochet spike, which means we're going to be working not in this stitch but the stitch below. Okay, so that's going to be that one there, and this is very much going to mimic what we did for the dress. So that's going to be our first row with our new color. So rather than single crocheting into that stitch, we're going to single crochet in the stitch below. Please make sure that you don't do it too tightly, otherwise your work might get a little bit squashed. So go ahead and place a stitch marker there. I seem to have lost my stitch marker. It's okay. So that's going to be right there. Okay. And what we'll do next is we're going to do 14 more of these. So that's one. So in the row below, right there, okay, just do a single crochet like so. So go ahead and do 14 more. I'm going to meet you once we all have the 14, and we're going to do a decrease. I have made 14 single crochet spikes, so together with the first one you should have 15. And next we're going to do a decrease. So go ahead and start on your first single crochet spike in the next stitch. Don't finish it, just go into the next stitch like that in the row below, yarn over and pull through all 3. So this is pretty much the same like we've been doing. Okay, we're gonna do 4 single crochet spikes in the next 4 chains or 4 stitches. So that's 2, 3 and 4. Okay, like so. In this 5th one and 6th we're gonna do a decrease. So go ahead and start it and then do 2 of them together like so. Okay, then we're gonna do 4 more single crochet spikes in the next 4 stitches. 3 and 4. and we're gonna do another decrease in those 2 stitches there. Okay, so that's the first one and that's the second one, like so, and continue with the single crochet spikes all the way to the end. I'm going to meet you once we come towards the end of that row. We're going to finish it together and start on the next one. To start on the last row, what we'll do is we're going to do a slip stitch on that first stitch like so, and go ahead and place a stitch marker there. I have also marked the 10th stitch from there because that's where our strap is going to come from. So go ahead and count 10 stitches and place a stitch marker there, and let's do slip stitching all the way to our next stitch marker. I have come to my stitch marker now. I'm just going to pull it out and I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then rather than continuing with my work, I'm going to chain 20. So I've got 20 chains there, and in the sixth stitch from the hook we're going to make a single crochet. So 1, 2, 5, 6. So in this sixth one here we're going to make a single crochet, and that's going to give us the button opening. There you go. Okay, so my buttons are 10 millimeters like so, so this is perfect. If your buttons are a little bit bigger, maybe you can chain one more, so you can chain 21 and then do your single crochet in the seventh chain from the hook. So this will all depend on your button and how big it is, so please make sure that you add more stitches if your buttons are bigger. Okay, so let's do single crochet all down this chain. I'm going to meet you once we are at the end of this chain here, and we're gonna continue with our border. I have done the last single crochet into that last stitch like so, and what we'll do is we'll continue with our border pattern, which means that we're gonna go into the next stitch, which is this one here, and we're gonna do a slip stitch like so. Continue with the slip stitch all across this row. I'm gonna meet you once you come towards the end. We're gonna finish this row together, and then we're gonna start on the left booty. I'm coming towards the end of that row. Just gonna take this stitch marker and slip stitch it to this first stitch. Oops, I did cut my yarn prematurely, obviously, and okay, pull through. Oops, there we go, and that's our right booty completed. Okay, well, it's not fully completed because I need to do the button there, but yeah, pretty much done. Let's move on to the left one. So I've done the spikes, the row with single crochet spikes, which means that we can start with the slip stitch row. So go ahead and do your slip stitch in that first chain there. I'm going to pop in the stitch marker, and then what we'll need to do is count 10 stitches. Okay, so the right one started from this side, see, like so, so that's the right one. So this strap goes on the inside, which means for the left booty we need to put the strap to go on the inside, so this is going to be on the right side to go towards left. So go ahead and count 10 stitches from the back there, because that's what we've done for the right one, if you remember. So we had 10, so that's what we're going to do for the left one. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the 10th one, and go ahead and pop in a stitch marker there, like so. If you're worried, just put them two together and make sure that the strap is gonna be the same, like so. Okay, if you're not 100% sure, you can actually flatten your booty like this, but it will line up, as you can see. Okay, so let's start with the slip stitch row, not road. Okay, and go ahead, do your slip stitch all along this row up until you get to the stitch marker. I'm gonna meet you a couple of stitches before, and we're gonna do the strap together. Okay, so I'm near the stitch marker, as you can see. So I've got one more stitch before the stitch marker, so I'm going to take it off and do the slip stitch into the next stitch, and from here we're going to chain 20. So this is pretty much the same as the right booty. I've got 20 chains. So next we're going to do a single crochet in the 6th stitch from the hook. So in that one there, we're going to do a single crochet. Continue with the single crochets all along this chain, and I'm going to meet you once you come towards our row, and then we're going to continue that together. I have completed the single crochets on that chain. So now what we'll do is we're just going to slip stitch to our row and continue with the slip stitch all the way to the end. Oops, I'm going to meet you once we come to the end, and we're going to finish our work together. Done my last slip stitch. All I'm left to do now is to slip stitch it to that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then I'm ready now to tie that in. And that's all our crocheting done now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the buttons off camera, and then we're going to take a picture of the end result. Okay everybody, so this is what our booties look like. I've decided to do a little flower on the side. Now this is not done with crocheting, this is like an embroidery, and I will show you how I did this, and we can do it on the left booty as well to the side. Okay, so I'm going to do that very quickly. You need to thread in your yarn. So this flower is a little bit on the side, and it's, so I think it's the 4th row down from the top and about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that with my needle like so, and I'm gonna just get the yarn, thread it through, and you do need to have a bigger piece of yarn, so get yourself a generous thread of yarn like so, and then what you'll do is in a row below or 2 rows below like that, okay, we'll insert a needle and just bring it out in the middle there. Okay, pull through. Don't do it too tightly, this needs to be very gentle, and you're going to repeat this 2 more times on there, like so, and 1 more, and this is 1 petal completed. Okay, so you're going to move on to the next petal, so we're going to do that one sort of next to it there, and again you're going to repeat this, so you're going to go towards the middle with that, like so, and that's pretty much it. And you can do as many petals as you like, so you might want to do 4, you might want to do 5 or 6, whatever it is, and once you're finished you can just tie in the ends in the back. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this and we're gonna have a look at our booties. Okay everybody, these are our finished booties. I hope you enjoyed this project, and you know, I don't think it's hard to make them. I think they're very cute. What I'm going to do next is just to put some paper in them and just spray them really quickly with cold water and just leave them for a little bit so they can hold that shape. But I think they look absolutely amazing. So these are part of a set, so we've got the beanie for this set as well, and we also have the dress, which I'm going to show you in a minute. If you haven't seen the videos for how to make the dress and the beanie, I'm going to leave that in the description box below. But that is our completed set. I hope you guys enjoyed making these. I think they look absolutely stunning, and if you did like it, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'm gonna see you guys very soon, hopefully with another set. Hope you guys have a lovely day and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.